Alright guys, I'm gonna make another video. If you guys get tired of me making videos, just let me know. It's been a while. I was trying to get back in the swing of things, get some videos put up for you guys to watch and stuff. So I got the rockers on there last night. I just tightened them up, didn't adjust them yet. We'll do that together. And I got to get me a cam button, and that's a little button that goes right here. They make them out of aluminum, nylon, or you can get a needle bearing one. I don't know what I'll get yet, but what it does is it keeps the cam from walking out of the motor, and the button rides behind the gear and against the cover, and that'll keep our cam from walking. So we're on the hunt for one of those today, and I had some questions about some different stuff and different combinations of motors. This isn't my favorite choice of combination of parts. This is just what I had laying around, and it's what I got to use. These are 049 oval port heads, which are pretty decent. I've had really good luck with these before. The last motor that I built was for Ron's Green Nova, the one we went and looked at. The one that they put back together and had an oil pump problem last time. And I showed you that car over at Randy's house. I built the big block for that, and I think that's probably the best big block combination that I've ever come up with. I've tried to share the combo with a couple guys from the garage, but I think they don't understand what I was doing, or the concept behind it. But big block is a 4-inch stroke. 427 is a 3.75 stroke. And the more stroke you put into a motor, the harder it is to turn the motor up as far as RPM. And if you're looking for RPM out of a big block, then the combination that I'm talking about might be for you. So this is 454 inches. It's a stock bore 454 with a set of 049 heads and a fairly small cam with flat tops with about 9-to-1 compression. And it's probably going to be a pretty decent street motor. Now Ron's motor, on the other hand, is probably closer to 13-to-1 compression. It's a 3.75 stroke with a set of 049 oval port heads like this, and it's a 60/54 block, which makes it come out to 431 cubic inches, I think. It's a small big block. But his motor will turn 8,000 RPM all day long, which is pretty impressive for a big block. I did have to update the rods from these stock units with good bolts in them. This is what I had in the motor. I had a set of these in there, just stock rods with the beams polished, ARP bolts, and floating pins. And those were good to about probably 650 horsepower, and we put 2 nitrous kits on it, stacked 2 plates, and bent one of the rods. And I never built the motor for nitrous, but he insisted on putting it on there. So anyway, we ended up going to a set of Corella rods last time I freshened the motor up, and everything else is the same. And I need to get up to the track and tune that, because he's having some issues, and I didn't assemble it this time, so I was going to go out there and help him with it. Larry, dog buggy, was asking me about some heads, and he gave me a casting number that I wasn't familiar with. Just a really good set of heads here. I picked these up. Guy Head Bites on YouTube that some of us watch does some really nice port work and stuff. He likes this as his casting of choice for the street, or for the 600 horsepower level. These will go up to probably pretty easy with a little bit of port work. The heads on Ron's car are actually spray welded smaller, if you can believe that, to pick the airspeed up. And I don't know if that makes it faster or slower. I didn't do the heads, super stock guy did them. And they're open chamber 049s on that car, I believe, or 048s or whatever there are. They're 049s or 048s, but these 781s are supposed to be the shizzle. I don't know. I started doing a little bit of work to these. Mark was going to need a set of heads, but he found something. So Larry, if you need these, they're yours, buddy. These are probably the head you want. It's an open chamber design. It's got a really nice combustion chamber. It's got really nice pockets. I could do a little work on these for you, and if you're not in a hurry, you do a little port work in the pocket area there for you. and set them up for you if you want. I buy all my stuff from Competition Products. I thought I brought the book out here. Yeah, here's the book. And these open chamber heads work out really good on the street. Somebody wanted me to talk about the difference between a closed chamber and an open chamber. And the old closed chamber heads were probably cut off. They look like a heel mark in the combustion chamber, probably closer to that. So it takes a closed chamber piston to fit the combustion chamber, and most of the pistons on today's market are going to be open chamber pistons, because even the aftermarket heads, the Dart, the Brodax, all those heads are open chamber. None of them are the closed chamber design, because there's no flame propagation in the closed chamber head. The open chamber seems to have better flame travel, and in the right condition will make more power. And by what I mean by condition, I mean by today's fuels. You're not going to support 10.5 to 1 compression on the street and have a wide tuning ability. You're going to be limited to where you can set your timing. And big blocks, unfortunately, like a lot of timing, usually with a small block you can get away with about 36, 38, and I've seen big blocks as high as 42, you know, to pull all the power out of them. And if you're going to spray them, you know, you're going to take the timing out. But without an oxidizer like nitrous, you're going to have to run timing in these motors to make them make power. So these heads, Larry, back to Larry here, and what I usually do is I go in here and Competition Products has some really good deals if you look in the valve product or packages. I was looking in here, and if you just got a mild big block up to 560 lift, you can do it for a hydraulic. This is for a hydraulic roller or a mechanical flat tappet. You're looking at $179 for the retainers, the locks, the springs, and the valves. And that's for all stainless steel and good valve springs. And you'd have the correct seat pressure for a little cam and stuff. And we could put all that in there for you. You know, this is something we can do over time. You know, I know that you're like me, you don't got a lot of cash. And that's what that stuff costs there, $179. So, you know, $179, I'd be willing to do the labor for you for free. And I don't know how we'd ship them. I'm going to Greaserama. I don't know if that's on the way to your house or not. Maybe we could drop them off in August. And if not, you know, we could put them on a bus, Greyhound. It's not too bad on the heavy stuff. So that pretty much covers the heads. I would stick with an open chamber head. Closed chamber heads are sort of like if you're doing a date code car or something like that. That's the only time that you would want to, you know, retain that kind of stuff. There's not a lot of it left. And most of the new design heads are going to be an open chamber design. Any of these heads that you look at, the Dart 360s or any of that, they're all 119cc in the combustion chamber. And the reason they do that is because there's much more piston selection, and you can make room for valve reliefs and all that kind of stuff. You got to remember, most closed chamber motors were limited to about 480 lift from the factory, or the hot LE88 motors and stuff. So they're just not suited for the street. I don't care for them. They're great for restoration projects, and that's about it. The crankshafts that we talked about to build the 431-inch big block. You can get a 427 crank, and you order the 427 pistons. It's the same bore size as the big block 454, but it has a different pin location for the stroke. I used to have a set of those because I was going to build one of those motors, and I ended up giving the stuff up. Unfortunately, if you don't have access to 427 crank, the only company that offers the crank and the correct stroke is Callie's. That's Callie's crank right there. That's probably one of the finest pieces you can buy. I like these or Sonny Bryant if I'm building a badass motor. And if I'm not building a badass motor, a stock steel Chevrolet crank will work just fine. But here's the crank you want to order. 455 mains, 3.75 stroke, 1.35 rod, and that's a 427 stroke. Fortunately, that crank's $1,780. I happen to have one over here if you'd like to look at how pretty they are. This is for my next project. I'm going to use a Dart M block big end block with a 450 bore, and this crank right here, it should turn up really nice and make some really serious power. So I'm gonna go with Comstar rods on this, and this crank's been tungsten balanced. You can see it's that heavy metal Mallory added to it, and this is a $1,780 crank before it was balanced, and it's just a beautiful piece. It's all gun lightened, and I don't know if the quality of the metal showing up on the camera or not, but it's just it's a beautiful thing to look at. I love this. Every once in a while I'll take it out and just think of the days to come. So I can't wait to build this motor. This will be a serious serious motor, not a street motor. So this was inspired by Jeff up there in Canada. He likes the Cali's products, and he makes some big horsepower with his stuff. So I'm going smaller on my motor than he went with his, but I'm gonna go with a big bore, small crank, and work the head really hard. So that's the future plans, my future big block, my future good motor. And of course you got to have a good car and all that stuff to go with this. So this isn't something you just put in mine over. You know, it would have to have some work, I think, and stuff. So I'll probably end up building a motor and throw it in one of my friend's cars that has a a nice drag car or dragster, and tune it and stuff like that. But that's a little big block talk. I didn't get to this manifold yet. I gotta get that cleaned up. Somebody had this on a square port. You can see the old design there, the reversion on the port. I don't know about that. Some guys use the oval port intakes on the square port, or vice versa. I wouldn't recommend that. There's a lot of power in intake alignment to the head, probably more than the proper camshaft selection. The right carburetor, runner, and intake match is there's a lot of power there. So we're going to take care of this intake manifold, get it cleaned up, get it bolted on the car, and hopefully have this thing together this weekend. I don't know. Gotta go find that cam plug and get the cover bolted on. Once I get the cover on, we'll flip it over and do the pan next, and flip it back over, and I should have the intake ready to go on. Bolt some mounts on it and drop it in the car. And some of you guys are like, man, why are you gonna put it in the car so soon? And I just need to make the car run. So that's where I need to be. The car's closer than a lot of people think, and I'm going to paint the car one solid color. It's going to be orange. A couple guys have asked, and I'm using a straight toner on this, 817 or 617 PPG orange. So I shouldn't have a match issue with this, so I'll be able to paint it in pieces. And I plan on putting the motor in there, paint the front clip. I'm going to paint the doors off the car. The only thing I'm going to actually paint with the motor in the car will be the roof and the quarter panels, and perhaps the deck lid. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself there. That's easy to do when you're VW Darrin, because I get ahead of myself all the time. I don't know if you guys have that problem, but that's why my garage has all this stuff in it. So Larry, there's your heads. I think that's what you need right there. And yeah, these are good. These are the 049s, or my oval port heads of choice. The 681s were recommended by the head bike dude. I think his name's Tony, and you can go watch some of his videos, and he's just crazy with the knowledge. That guy's done anything from Volvo head to an Alan Johnson top fuel head. I've seen that guy port, and have a lot of respect for him and what he says. So check him out. That channel's Head Bites, and he has some excellent videos and some really good advice over there. Here's my valve covers. I was gonna, try to hook the mill up, but we know that's never gonna happen. So I took the old grinder and took that letter off, the E. I got 4 to go there, and yeah, pain in the ass. I thought about maybe taking this to Knowles and putting it in the mill, but he'd probably be busy and all that stuff, and I just drive over there for nothing. So I'll just grind it like that, finish it off, and then take the DA or the Bondo heater to the top of them, smooth them out, and paint them up. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing with that. Got the kitty cats here today. Kittens running around. I'm down to like 3 or 4 cats. They're getting thinned out. Thin on the kitties. Anyway, some big frogs this morning. A lot of rain yesterday. Tree frogs. Let's see if we can find that bastard. Nick, shipped your pistons yesterday, buddy. Sorry for the delay. Shit got crazy. You know how that goes. But your pistons did go out. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because this is where I start rambling. I'll try to get you guys another video. I got a video of me and Andrea up there at driving the Shands. That was pretty funny. So I'll try to put that up. So yeah. So we talked about the heads, open and closed chamber. We talked about, you know, the combination that I like. And like I said, you can get the same stroke out of a stock 427 crank or a 396. Both those cranks will work. 396 and 427 cranks are almost always steel. So it makes a really nice piece. You just got to remember to use the 427 pistons when you use the short stroke crank. So the pin is moved up in the piston, or down. Location is moved down, not up. Up when you add stroke, down when you take it away. All right, it's a beautiful day out. I'm going to let you guys go. Make the best of it. It's Friday. I don't know what that means anymore, but it's Friday, if that means anything to anybody. And you guys make the best of it. Have fun getting that paycheck today. Push that record button and like, subscribe, hate, whatever you want to do. But most of all, subscribe. I need the subscribers, and I appreciate every one of you. And all that good stuff. So have a great day. Push that record button and make some videos, guys.